Hi, everyone. Our topic is closing of Thai universities in the next decade. We are interested in this topic because we saw a news from Bangkok Post, which is about 3/4 of Thai universities are at risk of closing over the next decade. Due to low enrollment and increased competition from foreign rivals, an education expert has warned. And we will present you the causes and effects of closing of Thai universities in the next decade. Let's start with the causes, which there are two causes. Enrollment fall, due to a demographic transition from high to low levels of fertility. Thailand become a fully aging society because birth rate is very low and further below than mortality rate. We will see that Thai populations have remained stable around 65 million for nearly 15 years. There are just 600,000 to 700,000 babies born in Thailand per year on average now, compared to 1 million per year from 30 years ago. The National Economic and Social Development Board also expects the number of Thais in the school age group, 0 to 21 years, will fall to 20% of the population in 2040, a sharp drop from 62% in 1980. The reason why Thailand has a low levels of fertility. Thailand Productivity Institute said nowadays people think that having children is a burden because of increase in the price of children. Foreign competition heat up. The government is planning to invoke Article 44 to improve higher education in Thailand. Foreign education institutions will be allowed to open universities in the special economic zones. This plan can be benefit for students who can effort to study in the international colleges, to get a good education and still living in a country with a lower cost than going to study abroad. Finally, the effects of closing of Thai universities in the next decade. Follow the news from the Bangkok Post. It can be a problem for local universities than going to have more competition. They will not be able to compete with well-known and foreign universities. And the fact that we still have a lot of students going to study abroad, primarily to Australia, the US, and the UK, that also can reduce number of students in Thai university. Students now also prefer to study in scientific areas over social science. So we think universities need to reduce social science majors and stop attempting to win more funding by attracting students to fill university seats. During last year's admission, the universities had vacancies for up to 150,000 prospective students to study various subjects, but only 80,000 applied for the entrance test. A significant fall in the number of students and changes in the labor market that will potentially have a big impact on many universities' non-scientific programs. It will also separate labor market from people who study in well-known or foreign universities and local universities, because bigger well-known firms will also select quality of labor also with skilled. The next one we will discuss on the reason why the company will choose people who had more skill. Because the supply of skilled labor is generally to the left of the supply for skilled labor, then we can expect higher wages for these workers. When unskilled work is disagreeable, risky, or unsatisfying, the supply of these unskilled workers will likely be reduced and higher wages may be necessary to command an adequate workforce. Theory of producing. Due to the demand of labor, calculate from the value of marginal product of labor, which derived from the price of the productivity per labor multiplied by marginal product from labor. So, the demand curve for this labor is tilted from the upper left to the lower right. The study of labor skill helps to measure the success of labor. It can measure the productivity of the community and helps to understand the driving force behind wage changes. In addition, the increase in skilled labor has several consequences, such as low-cost goods, more employment. Instrumental, it is a tool to negotiate the increase in labor costs.
Created using Powtoon.